So Devendra Fadnavis, they're making it very clear. They not only sent out an email to Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, but also submitted a letter in person to the governor saying they had come to know that 39 Shiv Sena MLAs were not keen to support the Mahavikas Aghadi government. They did not want to continue with the Congress and the NCP as part of the Mahavikas Aghadi. Therefore, prima facie, it appears that the Uddhav Thackeray government does not enjoy the majority of the floor of majority of the House, and that is why it is time for him to take a floor test to prove his numbers on the floor of the House. They've requested the governor to instruct Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray to take a floor test because the government now is in minority. This is the submission of Devendra Fadnavis before Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari in Mumbai. Kamlesh Sutar now joins me for more. Kamlesh, how much time would the governor ideally, and you've been speaking to a number of legal and constitutional experts, how much time does the Chief Minister have to prove his numbers should such a request be made to the governor to urge the Chief Minister to take a floor test?
Gaurav, it's the discretion of the governor at this point in time, but it could be anything between 48 hours to 72 hours or even a larger time frame if the government wants to allow the government to take some more time to prove its majority. But Devendra Fadnavis, for the first time, Gaurav, why is this a big development? Because this is for the first time that the BJP has entered the entire scenario of the political drama that has been ensuing in Maharashtra for last almost 1 week. Ever since the Shiv Sena MLAs quit, Shiv Sena MLAs went to Surat, and from there they flew to Guwahati. There hasn't been one big statement from any big BJP leader about their role. In fact, on the contrary, state BJP leaders have been saying that they have got nothing to do with the rebellion and they have been maintaining a stoic silence. Today, for the first time, some senior leader from the party, and none other than the former Chief Minister and leader of opposition, Devendra Fadnavis, coming out, directly meeting the governor. This happens after a few hours after he met his party bosses in Delhi. He met Amit, Shah and JP Nadda in Delhi. He flew back to Mumbai, and just within hours, he went directly to the Raj Bhavan, handed over a letter saying that what appears from the media reports that 39 of Shiv Sena MLAs are not with the party. They don't want a government with the Congress and NCP, and that is why it appears that this government is in minority, and hence the governor should ask the government to prove its majority. Now what does the procedure say? The governor would send a letter to the Chief Minister saying that he has received a memorandum from the leader of opposition saying that the government does not enjoy a majority because according to the media reports, several of its MLAs do not want a government, and it appears that they are not in support of the government. Hence the government has lost its majority, and therefore the government should prove its majority on the floor of the House. Now it's all up to the governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari to give them the time.
Yes. What would make this extremely difficult for Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray is the fact that it's not just Shiv Sena rebel MLAs, but a large number of independents who had earlier pledged support to the Mahavikas Aghadi, and that number is oscillating between 8 and 10. They've withdrawn their support, or at least claim they're no longer with Uddhav Thackeray, and have pledged support to the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena. So the rebel camp numbers are swelling almost every day, and Uddhav Thackeray's Sena numbers seem to be dwindling. The factual position, Kamlesh.
Well, yes, but now, Gaurav, looking forward, what happens now? On one hand, the support for rebel Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde is swelling with every passing day. We've seen every day some or the other MLA from the Shiv Sena faction joining. In fact, some MLAs who even attended that meeting with Uddhav Thackeray on the day of rebellion have also switched over to Eknath Shinde camp. But now, what happens next? The Shiv Sena is still is willing to keep its legal options open, because we had the Supreme Court hearing yesterday where the Supreme Court in a way had given respite to the MLAs who were facing disqualification. In fact, they've got some more time till 11th of July till no action would be taken against them. They've been given extra time to do that. Now that was worrying for the Shiv Sena, but the council appearing for the deputy speaker had sought sought explanation from the court, saying that they should pass orders regarding the no confidence motion or trust vote if at all there are some orders, but the court had clearly denied, saying that this is not the issue before us at this point in time, but in case if it comes in the future, they have the option of appearing the Supreme Court like any other citizen of the country. Shiv Sena has kept that option open. So tomorrow, in case the governor orders a trust vote, ask Uddhav Thackeray to prove majority on the floor of the house, the Shiv Sena in all likelihood is likely to appear to approach the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to intervene in this matter, as the matter of disqualification of 16 MLAs who the Shiv Sena had sent a letter to the Deputy Speaker to disqualify. They say they'll say that this matter is pending. Until this matter is settled, there should not be a trust vote. This issue has to be settled, because this issue will lead to several other issues on who the leader of the house is, who the leader of legislative or party of Shiv Sena is, who the chief whip is, who will issue the whip, who will be the leader of the legislative party. These all issues need to be figured out first. On that context, Shiv Sena will approach the Supreme Court, and in case the Supreme Court decides to do a hearing on this, this might well go beyond the stipulated time. But it's all now up to Governor on how much time he wants to give to Uddhav Thackeray to prove his majority on the floor of the house. It is 48 hours, 78 hours, or 72 hours, or more than that. Gaurav.
Okay, and those reports that seem to indicate that Uddhav Thackeray had seen the writing on the wall and he wanted to put in his papers, but was persuaded against it by Sharad Pawar. Now, is Uddhav Thackeray being led up the garden path, or is there actually a strategy to bring back at least some of these MLAs who are currently a part of the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena?
Well, Gaurav, see, it's very simple. What Shiv Sena is hoping, Shiv Sena is keeping its hope on, is the fact that Eknath Shinde will require 2/3 of the majority of MLAs with him. Even if that number goes beyond 37, 37 is the 2/3 of 55 MLAs at this point. Eknath Shinde has a support of 39. That is what Devendra Fadnavis had said in the letter. So even if the number goes down from 37 to 36 or 35, that's going to be a big shot in the arm for the Shiv Sena. They can then issue disqualification notice against these MLAs, because this will not be considered as a 2/3 split in the party and they will not be recognized. Before that happens, now what Uddhav Thackeray and his faction of the Shiv Sena wants to do at this point in time is to disqualify. They have sought disqualification of the 16 MLAs, not all 39. That question was asked to Shiv Sena several times on why just 16. Why not all 39 MLAs have gone there? But that seems to be the strategy of the Shiv Sena, also in a way to create some kind of confusion among these MLAs. But if, as I said earlier, and I underline that, I repeat, if at all the number comes beyond 37, in any case, Eknath Shinde faction would face problems. So they don't want the number to come down. Just on the day of trust vote, if at all it is called by the governor of Maharashtra, all the MLAs would be flown from Guwahati to Maharashtra in Mumbai at Vidhan Bhavan, and then the government would be facing floor tests. And even in case, Gaurav, this is very important. Even if Eknath Shinde faction decides not to attend, even then numbers would be in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party, because the strength of the house would come down, and in a way that would be something which would be easily achievable for the Bharatiya Janata Party. But in that case, who issues the whip will be the question, and that is why on that count Shiv Sena would like to approach the Supreme Court, because whenever such important issue comes, the chief whip of the party issues a 3-line whip saying that all members should attend.
The question remains,
for a particular
absolutely, as far as the Shiv Sena is concerned, is Eknath Shinde the leader of the party, and who's the whip of the party? All of these issues, as you're saying, will be sorted out perhaps only by the Supreme Court.